No, this was not a joke, is not a joke, was never funny to begin with. Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States of America. Now, here's the thing. For all those people trying to go after people who voted for Trump, Trump supporters, I'm not one of them, but Trump supporters went out and voted. People don't realize that there was a silent majority, and that silent majority this time weren't even necessarily Republican or people who are Democrat or Republican. There are people, it's like not a middle class, but there's average class working Joes or workers who are part of technically white America, felt like they weren't being represented. So they weren't going to go and be boisterous and say whatever they wanted to say and make themselves be heard. They were going to go out to the polls yesterday and vote, and that's exactly what they did. I've been telling people that that's what's going to happen, but they're like, oh no, it's a joke, oh it's not serious. First of all, you should have known that things were going downhill or going in the wrong direction when Donald Trump, who does not have political experience at all, and he's the type of person that constantly mocked politicians, decided he wanted to go and be in potentially the highest position in this country, political position in this country. Come on now. And now, of course, the fallout is, look, I went to sleep. I had a headache at 9 something last night, and I knew things were going bad. The fact that Donald Trump maintained a hold at, 127 or 129, while Hillary was at 97, I said, this isn't going in the right direction. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up. This is going to be over. And he may actually win. I'm going to be over it, but I was hoping that I was praying in my mind, please let this not be wrong. I woke up at 3. I woke up at 3 a.m. and because I woke up at 2 and I was like, no, something doesn't feel right. Went back to sleep, woke up at 3, went onto social media, and I was like, wait a minute. What? So, congratulations, I'm not saying to him, but congratulations to the people who voted for him because you got what you wanted. This is a prime example of why you're supposed to go out and vote. People are like, oh, my voice won't be heard. Clearly, theirs was. So I can't be mad at them. And yes, for the record, not all people who vote for Donald Trump are racist, are illiterate or uneducated, period, are bigoted, really in any type of fashion. People vote for him for a multitude of reasons. There are people who just did like Hillary, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't love Hillary, and yet I still voted for her. You're trying to say the lesser of two evils. Since when was Hillary Clinton evil? There's a whole lot of people that I could rattle off that are a lot worse than her, and have done a lot worse in public, but somehow get away with it, and yet you're trying to villainize this woman. And I realized, hold on. The Republican Party did what I've been trying to tell people for the last 8 years. Ever since President Obama won, they've been planning on seeing, okay, they're saying Hillary's going to be the next potential. We're going to go and put our marketing dollars against the current president and the possible president-to-be. And that's how they single-handedly, successfully got one of their own back into the office. And the thing is, I can't be mad at that only because people have been saying, look at what they're doing, look at what they're saying. Why are you falling for this? People fell into it. People let their emotions guide them instead of their better judgment. And I'm not talking about Trump supporters. I'm talking about people who hypothetically are supposed to be Democrat, hypothetically are understood that Hillary, for the most part, no, she had actually good ideas and all of that. Forget about implementation and all of that. We know that once you become the president, that things change. That it's not what you think it's going to be. And sometimes, a lot of times, unless you have full control over the Senate and the House, your stuff's not going to get passed. That's what happened with President Obama. The Republican Party could successfully go and say that, oh, President Obama wasn't doing what he needed to do because they're the ones blocking it. They're like, oh, you want that? Okay, that'll go as long as we change this, this, and that. So now they can say, oh, it's trash. Oh, these companies, these organizations aren't partnering with him. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. President Obama still has a 50-something% approval rating, considering all the stuff that's happened. That should speak volumes. That's still saying the majority of the country still likes him overall. And it's sad that some people didn't vote for Hillary for the simple fact that she's a woman. Regardless of if they liked her or not. Oh my gosh, they don't like her and now she's a woman too? Oh, no, we can't have... I'm thinking you've been birthed... 99.9% of you, period, have been birthed from a woman, whether it was your mom or surrogate. You have had females in your life... Females? I hate that phrase. Had women in your life that have either raised you or had some type of impact or kind of guided you or helped you out in some fashion, and women who have taken charge and all of that and planned. And you're saying you can't see another woman do that? That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. I mean, the fact that Hillary Clinton was able to keep her composure and all that, considering the fact that she was running against someone who was truly bad-mouthing her and just spewing this crazy rhetoric. And people do see, the thing is, people didn't take Donald Trump seriously. That's why he's in the office. Like I'm saying, Donald Trump should have been stopped at the door. Everyone should have put all of their marketing dollars towards, look, why is he even running? And just had him basically disqualified, laughed off of the ballot. That's what should have happened. But then Donald Trump, people are tired of their traditional setup, and that's why he won. There are people who aren't really in support of Trump, but just didn't want to vote for Hillary because they felt like Hillary was a part of the past, and they're thinking about the future. They don't really think about what it means. As of now, we don't really know if because Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump. So we don't know if he's really going to decide if he wants to go with the whole stop, what was it, the gay marriage thing, the stop the abortions, or the option to choose to have abortions, to choose for same-sex couples to be married, the Affordable Health Care Act, which was rebranded as Obamacare. We don't really know if he's going to affect or do anything like that, or building that wall. First off, he was saying Mexico's going to do it. Mexico's saying there's no way in hell they're going to do it. So I'm trying to figure out who is going to pay for that wall now. All of this has me saying, and here's the other part. This is from CNN. CNN gave an actual depiction of why Hillary Clinton lost, which is the title of this video. Hillary Clinton lost for a couple of reasons. One, the African American vote, she got 88%, around 88% of it, while Donald Trump still was, regardless of everything that he's been saying, still got 8%. And I'm sure part of the 8% was because, one, Hillary was a woman, two, Hillary was Hillary, and three, that people honestly didn't care. I mean, Harambe, the dead gorilla, got over 15,000 votes. He was a write-in, of course, and got 15,000 votes. If that doesn't show how messed up things are, the Latino vote was 65% for Hillary and 29% for Donald Trump. I'm just looking at this like, wait a minute now. This man, so I guess if you're Latino, you're like, well, nah, we don't really identify with the Mexicans, so it is what it is. I'm looking at this like, what the hell? What type of mess is that? Almost 30%. He somehow, because people are cherry picking what he's about. They're like, oh, well, he's really not going to go and do this. Or, oh, he's really not going to go and do that. You know what? You're damn right. He's not going to do any of it that he promised you. He said he was going to do, period. Why? Because there's still, that's the thing. That's what, oh yeah, and for ages 18 to 29, she got 54%, he got 37%. And of course, for President Obama, when he was running, his numbers were better. So it's interesting. We live in a country where there are bigoted people, racist people, and those racist people, some of them do represent and are a part of Donald Trump's voting, people who vote for him, for his so-called group. And they showed their face. They showed their ass, actually, during this election. The people who had that mindset. And then, like I said, there was that silent majority that people kept forgetting. The people who feel like, oh, well, certain things about illegals, or certain things about some of the gay rights, or abortion, all of that. There's people very educated, very smart, really non-bigoted people who just cherry-picked certain ideals from him and decided he's basically anti-establishment, he's basically this and that. He's like the Republican version of a Bernie Sanders-esque type. And that actually goes to my other point. I knew things, I had a terrible feeling when I actually saw the Democratic Party be so divided with Hillary versus Bernie. I looked at them and we were pleading with them, what are you doing? Why would you go and split up the party? All you're doing is creating easy propaganda for now your real competitor, the Republican Party, to go and use against you. That's all that happened. Whichever one of you lost, now you have to try and figure out, because you know your voters aren't just going to automatically vote. That's the thing about the Democratic Party. The Republican Party is pretty much loyal to a fault. They don't care who's running. It's like, I'm going to vote with this party because I overall believe in what they believe in, and that's what we're going with. People think that's how it is and assume that that's how it is with the Democratic Party. It is not. There's a lot of infighting with the Democratic Party, and we've seen how that result ends, because instead of Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton having the full support of the party got split as soon as those two decided they were going to go against each other. Now, there's people who are saying, yeah, they feel like if it was just Bernie, he could have won. The only reason why I say that there was a good possibility, not in reality, but a good possibility of that being true, is because with Donald Trump being the official candidate of the Republican Party, you need someone who also has that almost anti-government, anti-big business, anti-establishment-esque mojo mentality to grab the young vote like Bernie Sanders did, and, you know, to get people excited, people who weren't necessarily excited before, because there was around at least over, 135 million people who voted. So it was a lot of people who voted. A large part of the population did come out to vote, but, and mind you, Donald Trump didn't win by a huge margin. Hillary Clinton actually won the popular vote, because what people need to understand, the electoral votes are based on the size, the population of the states. They get a electoral, a college electoral seat, what have you, for each percentage of people, part of the population in that particular state. And because of that, that's how Donald Trump won. And that's how Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. She overall was able to get more votes. It does not matter if, let's say, in New York, of course she's going to clean up. There's millions of people in New York. If millions of people actually vote and in favor of her in New York, that's going to, supplement the other states where she lost or didn't get as many votes, but that's still not going to give her enough of a pull to actually win. Because that's how it actually is. It's all based on the electoral votes. It's not based off of how many votes in total you get. And now we have the issue of, now, regardless if it was Democratic or Republican, I don't believe that all three areas, the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, it's all now run by a Republican Party. Well, as soon as Donald Trump, takes office, it's going to be all run by a Republican Party. And that's not how it should be. There should be some type of split. Now, again, thankfully, there are some Republicans who are not here for anything that Donald Trump has said. So they're going to still, regardless, if it comes off as radical, they're going to stop him like, hold up, no, that's not going to happen. But you do run the fear of, if he's able to work out a deal or make it less invasive, some of the things he may be able to pull because his party is still in there. It's just so, and then the fact that we have Melania Trump is going, we go from Michelle Obama, we go from Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Sasha Malia, and the dog, to Melania Trump as as our first lady. That in itself speaks volumes, because that is a slap in the face. Going from Michelle Obama to Melania Trump as the first lady. Melania Trump, I don't care how she is as a person. I'm caring about her credentials. And we actually had two very qualified people be in the represent the House for the presidential house, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. We have two people who don't know a lick about politics now being a representation of the free world. It's actually terrifying, because regardless of how I feel about Donald Trump and Melania and all of them, my real issue is globally, people are pissed, they are hurt, they are confused. When President Obama came into office, it was different, because he kind of showed the world, it's like, wow, America just seems so bigoted to a lot of countries, and the fact that a black man became president was huge, and the world was looking for the next big thing. It's like, oh my gosh, you're going to actually elect a woman. That was going to do so much for internationally. Was it going to cause some problems as well for some countries that don't want to let go of their traditions and mentalities? Yes, but still, it will have done so much, and especially someone who really is qualified. And then to go to Donald Trump, who was saying so many things about the Chinese, the Muslims, the Mexicans, to women. And it's just like, oh my gosh, because people don't like Hillary so much, they're willing not to vote. Not to vote or do random write-ins, or to actually vote for Trump to see, yeah, let's see how it goes. And now I'm seeing the fallout of people who really are like the silent majority, who were going to vote for him the whole time. And that's why I said I can't be mad at them, because they did what they set out to do, and they won. So I'm not going to be happy with it, but I have to accept it. I'm sure I accept it. We move on. But I really hope this lights a fire under people to let them know that your voice, true testament that you have power. Again, that's why I can't be mad at the Trump supporters, because they did what they were supposed to do. But it's really sad that there's some people out there who really were like, they will not let a woman win. They'd rather let a black man that they don't like, but he's charismatic, win than wow. That speaks volumes. A qualified woman lost to an unqualified man. Ha! This is Jesus. What's really going on, man? Come on, guys. What is really going on? But yeah, that's it. That's all I really got for you. Please put more focus, for example, to regain some power, if you say, into local voting. You know, it was sad because when I went and voted, I didn't know any of the people on the ballot, aside from Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, so I just voted all Democrat. Just like how people would do the same, just vote all Republican. Or, you know, as it possibly could, and if it wasn't, I would vote Republican. But really have to pay attention to your local laws. And this President Obama had such a... during his presidency, so much change. There was so much change, or so many things that are brought to light that were issues for centuries, really. And I think it was so much change at one time that people revolted, finally revolted. They were like, no, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to prove it that, you know, we'll see what happens. Because everything that he did can be undone. If it's undone, it's like a domino effect. I don't think people realize how many people will be affected. And I know some of the people who voted for him, for Trump, who could potentially go and rewrite that stuff or cancel it out, get rid of it. It would affect them too. And they're just not thinking. Like, oh my gosh, this could go really left or a little bit left. Either, or technically, yeah, this could go really wrong or extremely wrong. And I'm really hoping it's just a little bit wrong. I'm hoping that Trump's advisors do most of the work and they're not, that they don't go to create... There's really nothing we can do unless he does something so radical. But again, this is why it's important that every vote counts, every vote matters, regardless of what anyone tells you. At least you did it. At least you did it. At least you let your voice be heard, because there are people who, because this is what I'll say is like the in my opinion, the messed up version of 2008. A lot of people wanted change, and their change was they wanted to go back to the old way, though, whatever the old way is in certain cases. And that's why they elected Donald Trump. They didn't want a politician. They wanted someone who they liked, and felt like had their same interests. I don't know how a rich 70-something-year-old who constantly says negative things about people is relatable to that much of the population, but I don't know. So, yeah. By the way, I know, yeah, that's it. You know, please just go out and vote, period. Be aware of what your politicians really want, what they really stand for, or what you think they stand for based on their prior experience and what they've previously said. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't judge, because like I said, I'm not judging. I don't care if people dislike this video, because I can't be mad at the Trump supporters. They did what they were supposed to do, and I know that it's really only a small vocal portion of them that are rude and bigoted and racist, and the rest just wanted change, and they went to Donald Trump instead of Hillary. And I don't agree with that, but I have to accept it, because he's going to be the 45th president. It is what it is. You know, I feel like that's the American mentality at this point, or really for a long time, really ever since 9/11. It is what it is. We just take it, internalize it. I just want other people out there all over the world to know that, as you saw, half the voting population or so really tried, or a little bit more, really tried to stop this from happening. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And those polls that let people know who they think the president's going to be, they're all crap. They're all crap. They all thought that Hillary was going to win, but they were using general metrics, and that's not how it works. You have to understand people. I don't know. Yeah, I can go on forever.